And while I'm mentioning Mike Green, who's our incredible executive producer, I also want to mention our editor, Edward O.C. Jamal. Edward is phenomenal. And he took this 300 hours of material and whittled it down to this beautiful piece that you saw. So there's what the guys contributed. Yes. Yes.
This is a simple question. How did you fund this?
Oh, all right. Here it comes. The majority of the funding for this film was given to us by Hugh Hefner. And as you know, Hugh Hefner loves jazz. He has the jazz festival in Los Angeles.
And loves women.
And he loves women. It was a natural. And the other person who gave us major funding was Herb Alpert. So two men gave us the major funding. The rest of it was raised piecemeal by friends, $10, $15, $25, $100. We did an Indiegogo campaign. We turned over every rock there was to get the rest of the funding.
So you didn't hop your house?
Not yet.
It's very close. Anybody else? Yes.
Back there. What's the future for the film?
The future for the film is we're going to do this theatrical run that we're doing now. We did 2 years of festivals, film festivals and jazz festivals, and we won quite a few festivals. We won 5 festivals and got rave reviews everywhere, so that set us up to do this theatrical release. As soon as the theatrical release is finished, we will then start doing a television, DVD, streaming, Netflix, Amazon, all of that. So that's coming down the road about 6 or 8 months from now.
Back there.
Nancy and Judy, what is your next project?
Oh.
We're looking at a good rest.
I'm moving to Paris.
She's moving to Paris and I'm moving to San Francisco. I'm really thinking about it. My son lives up here, so I love it up here. Yeah, I love it here.
Yes,
Anyway.
right
I'd
here.
like to hear the musicians talk about what you're working on now. What do you find challenging in music now? What is the problem that that you're grappling with? That is really vital for you.
Who wants to start?
Well, I think I'm probably speaking for most jazz musicians when I say the problem is getting the music out there. As Destiny said, we need, jazz to thrive, whether it's female or male musicians, needs an audience. And, kind of with the, these days with radio stations sort of all targeted. It's hard to get jazz on the airwaves, less people are hearing it. It's harder to get to the young people. So a lot of energy, I'm a co-leader of a group called FivePlay Jazz Quintet. And we've been around for a few years. We've got some CDs out, and we work very, very hard to promote ourselves, to get, we're going to be at the Jazzschool February 1st. I hope you guys can come. And I'm sure I can speak for my colleagues here when I say you have to put so much energy into just getting the music out there. And I'm not saying jazz was ever easy, but I think there was a time when there was more opportunity to play, and jazz was truly a popular music. And now it's a constant struggle financially and just logistically. So for me, that's the greatest challenge. I'll see what everybody else has to say.
I'm being challenged right now to do tributes. And so I have a tribute to Frank West, who just became a jazz ancestor just here recently, and a woman that he assisted in launching herself, who was jazz harpist Dorothy Ashby. And the project is called On the Corner of West and Ashby, a tribute to them. And so the objective is that a lot of folks aren't still very familiar with Dorothy, is to transcribe some of her original music and also do transcriptions with her and Frank West. And just to touch a little bit on this, because one of the things that did happen that we saw with Dr. Billy Taylor is that sometimes we're looking for the women to be able to push us forward so that we can have that opportunity at a larger level. But when they haven't been, what we saw were some men. And I'm very thankful for the men who actually had the ability to do that. So Frank West saw what Dorothy was attempting to do back in the 50s, I believe it was, and he got behind her and pushed her to prestige. And she released her first LP at the time that was called Dorothy Ashby, the Jazz Harpist. So the objective for me right now is the art of transcription. Since none of her works in my looking for it had actually been transcribed or written down, is to transcribe this and to do this tribute on June 21st in Oakland. So the challenge is wrapping my mind around transcription, listening to Dorothy, who was one of the fiercest jazz harpists, to my knowledge. I'm walking on her back saying, Dorothy, how did you do that? And then actually transcribing flute, which is not my instrument, and saying, Frank, what were you talking about? I called him once prior to his departure, and I wanted to talk with him, and he wasn't feeling that 100. I said, hey man, I'll call you back. He's gone. So this is my opportunity to say, I couldn't call you back, but how about you show up in my concert anyway in spirit and just kind of lay a little love on us while we're there. One more thing, I do want to say, Jessica Felix, I don't know about the rest of you all, but she has been a woman who has supported women in jazz. And I'm going to challenge you, Jessica. How about a Women in Jazz Festival at Hillsburg? How about that? How about that? Starring all of us. Hello.